back to Booze Reviews in Black and White. I'm Bayne and this is Demeko to my left. And what a nice hat, by the way. Is there a story behind it?
No.
No story?
I feel like wearing a hat today. I'm
Okay.
balling like that. Not really. It's 46 degrees on January 5th. I didn't want to wear a winter hat. I'm like, I'll pull out one of my springtime hats. So, nothing big, nothing major.
That's what sucks about having your hair short, man.
Yeah, your heads get cold.
Yeah. Alright, well today we got a couple of kind of winter brews for you, I guess. Goose Stout Mild Winter, and then we got another Schells brew coming at you, Schells Stout. We're going to start out with that guy. 5% alcohol by volume. Schells comes from Schells Brewing Company out of August Schell Brewing Company out of New Ulm, Minnesota here. Pretty close to us.
Mm-hmm. Smelling some roastiness, some maltiness.
And again, if you haven't seen one of our episodes where we've done a Schells, second largest family run or operated brewery in the United States.
Very roasty.
Yeah, there's actually a nose to this one. Two beers that I've had actually smelled something on the nose. So
For the Schells.
for the Schells,
Yeah.
yes. Not overall. That would be really bad. Definitely malty and roasty together. Very mild, not overwhelming, but...
Didn't you say something about a sweet stout?
London style sweet stout is what this is kind of categorized on their website. Never had one of those particular styles before.
I definitely know what they're talking about. And you get a little bit of that, just a hint of coffee ground, just a hint of roastiness. But it kind of mellows out. It kind of sweetens up a little bit. A little more caramel out of it. Definitely vanilla.
You know, it almost reminds me of something like a John Henry where they bourbon barrel age it,
Sure.
but not going that far. As far as I know, I thought the oatmeal stouts were the sweetest stouts, but this one is pretty close. This is getting pretty sweet.
Yeah, this is pretty sweet for a stout.
Creamy,
How would
relaxed.
you compare, as far as the darkness, the richness is concerned, how would you compare this to Guinness?
Totally different.
Yeah.
As far as Guinness goes, I would definitely put that, I mean, this may sound like wine talk, but definitely drier,
Sure.
more of a, I mean, not as much malts. I really don't know how to explain it. Maybe we should pair that up sometime.
We should. The only reason I brought that up is because, just like you said, if this was drier or less sweet, if my eyes were closed or if this was blind bagged, I totally would have pegged this for a Guinness.
Really?
I would have. As far as stouts are concerned, the Guinness draft for me is not very stouty. I make up words. That's right, baby. I don't know. I don't know. Boring, I guess. I don't know.
That sweet character, it's almost lacking because it ends very fast.
Sure.
And I keep on going back to this, but it seems like most of the Schells beers are all entry level, and it's hard to keep on saying that, or maybe it's just a bad beer. I don't know, but I think it's okay. But I see where we're getting at. I mean, there's just not a lot there. Complexity, it's got a little bit, but yeah, it's not very long.
Right.
It doesn't have a lot of the bold characters that we've seen in some of these stouts. And yeah, I know what you're talking about. Guinness, the regular Guinness draft. It's okay.
And people swear by that stuff, and it's like, You know, I'll show somebody a beer, a stout, and talk it to them and tell them what, you know, the flavor profile and the makeup is. And they always ask me, well, how does it compare to Guinness? And more often than not, I'm like, you know, honestly, no contest. This will wipe the face of the earth with Guinness. But people, I mean, that's their go-to. You know, their heaviest, darkest beer is Guinness. And it's like, if that's as far as you're willing to go, you probably won't like this, that, or the other. So, if you like Guinness and Guinness is your cap, definitely find Schells if you can.
Yeah,
try
sure.
it. I think you'll like it. I think the sweetness is more inviting, I think, than some other stouts for most people. Especially if you're not a big stout drinker. Definitely try it.
It's definitely got this elegant creaminess to it. Sort of liking it. You get the roastiness, you get the maltiness, but that really kind of sums it up right there. That's not too long. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have to rate this probably 6.75, but that's kind of being generous.
I give it a 6.5. Like I said, for a stout, it's not quite doing it for me. But on that note, I could drink 6 of these, you know, in July. You know, I mean, I could hang out on a deck or at a lake or whatever and put these down where, you know, the stouts that I'm used to drinking, I got to split them with a buddy, you know, because they're so viscous and heavy. So take it like that. I mean, if you like Guinness, you'll probably like this. If Guinness is too light for you, you may not want to bother with that one. Just saying.
All right, moving on. What do we got?
Ooh, Goose Island's Mild Winter. What is this classified? American Mild Ale is what they call it.
Specialty ale. On the label, you'll read brewed with rye, which I like rye whiskey, so I'm really excited about this one. But there's a lot more going on than just rye.
Oh, for sure.
I believe I read something about barley and stuff too. So.
Well, yeah, barley. Yeah, most beers.
Definitely with the color, you're looking at just a slight goldish red hue to it.
Yeah, brownish, reddish. Yeah. I thought it was a reflection from my shirt, so I had to step back.
Did you get anything on the nose?
Not much, no. A little sweetness, but
yeah, it's really lacking on the nose.
I'm getting some barley on the nose. Sorry, but I've already tasted it twice. For the beer drinkers out there that love to sit back and dissect their beers and not just slam them down. I mean, the guys that will sit and tell you 3 or 4 flavors that they're getting, the cereal malts and stuff like that. This is that beer that you guys should try if you can find it. I mean, I relaxed it on my tongue a little bit. I mean, I can probably tell you 10 things that I'm tasting on this one. That the complexity's there, but they're well layered.
Very much so.
One after the other. There's not one grain that's offending the other. There's a little roastiness there. I'm sure they, bring out the color. This is fantastic. Fantastic.
You got to start out right away. You're going to get kind of layered in the back there. You're going to get Cheerios. So if you're looking to pump up on some nutrients,
there you go.
You're getting some Cheerios there. The barley, the rye. Oh, they're just huge. They're
the sweetness from the rye is definitely there.
Yep, definitely. You're getting some spiciness, a very mild creaminess coming through. There's a lot going on with this beer.
Little cocoa, little coffee.
Yep. Yep.
Wow. Mm. I really like this. And with our mild weather that we're having, this is pretty perfect for us here in Minnesota today.
Definitely. And it's funny how we set up a stout with just kind of like an average winter ale, and it's funny how dark this is kind of compared to this Schells Stout. I'd expect a stout, something to be labeled a stout, to be so much heavier,
So much
darker
heavier.
than a ale. But yeah, they're pretty close as far as heaviness goes. This has got a lot more creaminess going on. But if you're looking for something for winter, something you spend the night inside, definitely check out this Goose Alley because it is great.
Yeah, I agree. In my personal opinion, I think they botched the IPA, but they made up for it with the winter, the mild winter. This is fantastic stuff. So, what are you gonna rate this one?
I tell you what, this is everything I'd like in a winter beer. I would go pretty much as far as giving this a 9, and I think I am. I would give it a straight 9.
Go for it. I'm very, very, very close to that. I'm at an 8.75. Well made. I can taste everything that's going on. It's like a well mixed song where you've got an orchestra, you've got a choir, you've got a full rhythm section, and the great vocalist, and it all comes together perfectly. I mean, you can hear every instrument on its own and in tandem with everything else. This beer is that mix. I love
it. Even with the nose, I mean, it's lacking in the nose. It's a standout beer.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed by this.
You found a winner. Do we have a question of the day?
I don't.
You don't?
No.
I do. I have a question of the day, and the question is, what is your favorite winter beer? Now, it could be any style. It doesn't have to be a winter ale or whatever. But yeah, just give me your winter beer, the one you go to whenever it gets cold outside or if you see first snowfall. Please post your comments. We'll try to get back to you, and hopefully we'll have whatever you guys vote on. So please subscribe.